What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of The Boys Talking 49ers Football with my co-hosts, Pete and Brandon. Gentlemen, your San Francisco 49ers, our San Francisco 49ers are heading to Vegas, to the Raiders' home, to play the other team that the Raiders hate, the Chiefs, in the Super Bowl. Revenge of 2019. Brandon, how are you feeling about the Super Bowl run?
I'm feeling good, bro. I'm ready for this. For us to become champions all together. That was a scare for sure on Sunday, but at the end of the day, dude, we pulled out and we freaking got a dub, and we're going on to the bowl.
Absolutely. What about you there, Senor Pete?
Dog, as old as I already am, I just lost a few more years by halftime. I feel great now. I feel revitalized now. I'm still lacking of energy because I just lost a whole bunch of it during that game. But yeah, it's Super Bowl. Super Bowl. Like it doesn't matter what anybody has to say now, the critics about whoever, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're in the Super Bowl. Now it's just us versus the Chiefs.
Exactly. All right. My Instagram texts are coming in from Instagram. I love it. I love it. I love it. They're popping up. That's how it works. Yeah, guys, we are heading to the Super Bowl. It wasn't Purdy. No pun intended. It wasn't Purdy. These two playoff games. 2019, we coasted through the Vikings and then the Packers. We had to go through the NFC North to get to the Super Bowl. Same scenario this time. We had to go through the NFC North, Packers, and Lions, but it wasn't as easy. It was more challenging. It was more nerve-wracking. It's like Niners. If you didn't try to kill us against the Packers by making us nervous, you're like, wait, Niner fans, wait. If you thought you were going to be the edge of your seat against the Packers, wait until you watch the Lions game, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. Going into that half, I don't know if I was encouraged about winning the Super Bowl. Going to the Super Bowl. I honestly thought, shit, this is going to be a Cinderella year for the Detroit Lions, first Super Bowl ever. We just can't stop anybody on defense. We're getting gashed. Listen, when you're 3rd and 12 and they run the ball and nobody touches them for a first down, untouched, that wasn't a good sign. Then in the same series, it's a 3rd and 18, and they give it to St. Brown, untouched until he gets the first down. Those were devastating moments. Before we go any further, Pete and Brandon, I'm going to ask Pete first. What were your thoughts on those two particular drives where they gave up a 3rd and 12 on a run and then a 3rd and 18 on a pass?
Honestly, I couldn't even. The first one I got mad. The second one, I was just like, okay. This is where you just leave it in the hands of God and let it and let the chips fall how they're gonna go. It's just this team has been frustrating on defense to watch all season long. We have all world players all over this defense. And I had been complaining about Steve Wilkes all season long. And I didn't stop during the game. And it was just I tweeted out a lot of things during the game, mainly out of emotion. But at the same time, that's all I could think about was just that this is not this defense. This is not the defense that we thought we were getting coming into this season. And but now we have to lean on our offense. And our offense isn't looking so hot right now. So Kyle, you're going to have to come and pick us up for once and not lean on the defense to get us through. So, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Brandon?
Dude, we talked about this on Sunday and yesterday, Beto. During the game, especially that first half, I felt like it was done. Um, I was starting to lose confidence a little bit when we were down. What was it, 21-7 at half? And then my brother-in-law and a couple of my friends who were watching the game with me were like, "No, don't. They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back. It's literally only the first half." And sure enough, you see play after play after play in the second half, and I got hyped up again, and I was feeling all right, dude. This game's ours now. Like, but I'll admit it. Like, I did lose a little bit of confidence in that first half. No cap.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. Anybody, honestly, anybody, listen, uh, we have here, let me bring up this comment real quick. Um, is it this one here? I knew we could come back. I was calm the whole time. Listen, Jay York, third. Hey, if you were calm, kudos to you, my friend. Kudos to you that you were able to be calm under those conditions. I wasn't. I was more like, oh crap. Oh crap. We did not work this hard. We did not go through everything that we went through the regular season to get to this point to lose like this. Okay, losing is bad enough. Losing is bad enough, period. What's up, Ismael? But losing the way we were going to lose, if we would have lost that game, was humiliating. But the Niners kind of went into the half, looked into the mirror, looked at themselves. These are veterans. These are not rookies. These are veterans that have been here before. They regrouped, refocused. They know what they had to do. And the ball had to bounce our way as well. It's not just regrouping, right? It's also that the ball had to bounce our way, and it did. It did. That throw to Brandon Ayuk, which hit the guy, went through the guy's hands, hit him in the helmet, face bounce, and then if that thing would have bounced to the opposite side of Ayuk, it would have been an incompletion. To bounce the way it did, and Ayuk to be aware to catch that ball. I don't know about you guys, but that to me felt like a turn of events. The momentum has shifted, and it's like if there was any hope that we can still win this, it was in that particular play. Pete, what was going through your mind when Brock Purdy stepped back, let it go, and it was heading towards the defender's hands? What were you thinking, bro?
I mean, I thought it was going to end up being an incomplete pass. I didn't think the guy was actually going to catch it. Like,
Okay.
I was just hoping for a penalty. I was hoping that there was a penalty because Ayuk isn't the greatest of jump ball guys. Let's just be honest. And but what I was thinking at the time is I'm just glad that he's airing it out because they've got to loosen up this defense somehow. The defense was kind of sitting on all their whole passing offense up to that point. So I was kind of happy that he threw it, but it really, it was one of those plays, in the playoffs, things happen. Weird plays happen. Sometimes the ball bounces off of Jaquiski Tartt's hands, like in an NFC Championship game, that could seal a game. And there's just plays that kind of turn the tide of a game, and that was one of those plays. The 49ers were struggling mightily on offense at the time. So that's what they needed. They needed to get loose. And after that, it was like a tidal wave. So yeah, like all of a sudden, all of the momentum shifted, and then a whole bunch of things started. They started missing. They couldn't catch the ball. Then we get a fumble. Like all the things. It just was like a tidal wave. Everything happened so quick. But yeah, that was how I felt about it.
Yeah, it was. I'm with you. I don't think it was going to be an interception either. I thought incompletion at the very worst, but great awareness for Brandon Ayuk to make that play. Big time players make big time plays in crunch time, and that's what Ayuk did. Brandon, what was your gut telling you, bro, when that ball was launched and it looked like, oh crap, that could have been intercepted? Do you think it would have been intercepted as well, or did you just think it was going to be incompletion?
Well, first off, that was the play call that they were going for in the first place. The only way it would have been incomplete was because of that pass interference on the defense on Ayuk. That was clearly before even the ball came down. Because honestly, I think either way, Ayuk would have
But remember, they
caught
picked
it.
up the flag.
No, I know.
I think they would have
Um,
kept the penalty if he hadn't have caught it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
agree.
That's why I think they picked up the flag just because.
That clearly
he
was a
caught
pass interference. That
No,
clearly
I'm
was.
agreeing. No,
It,
I'm not
it should have been a
disagreeing with
legal
you.
contact. It should
It
have been
was
legal
yeah,
contact.
illegal
Even
contact.
that,
Yeah.
because you saw the defender go right into Ayuk. Ayuk was going for that ball, and I think he would have caught it, to be honest with you. But like Ayuk said in the post game, there was a little ladybug on his shoe before the game, and it just it just happened. It was so-called luck. So I mean,
Thank
the
God
eye
for the
awareness
ladybug.
from Ayuk was just phenomenal
Shout
on
to the
getting that
ladybug.
ball.
Hey, forget about Lamar Jackson MVP. Let's give it to the ladybug.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be our new catchphrase now. Shout
yeah.
to the ladybug.
Yeah, that's the true MVP. The ladybug brought more play than Lamar did on his game. But yeah, I'm with you, Brandon.
You're
I'm
being
with
too
you.
real. You're being
Yeah.
too real. Don't say anything bad about Lamar.
Oh.
Because I mean, God knows
Mind you,
you can't say
Lamar's
anything bad
now
about
2-4
Lamar.
in the playoffs.
Yeah, Lamar. Yeah, dude, he doesn't deserve the MVP, but that's a whole different discussion for another day, man. He does not. What's up, David Villa? My beautiful wife Renee's in the house. Welcome, Ronnie Montoya is in the house. What's up, Ryan Montoya? How you doing, sir? Good to see you. But yeah, bro, I'm with you. It was a crazy, bizarre game. The whole giving up the gashes and the first quarter, second quarter, it looked dim. It looked like, man, is this it? But one thing I'm very, very proud, and I want to give a hand of applause, is that stadium was still full in the second half. Maybe because the prices are expensive for a NFC championship game, but nobody left. A lot of teams would leave, that, oh my God, because it wasn't that we was just down 24-7 in the half. It's the way the Lions were dominating on both sides of the ball that could discourage fans not to stay, right? Or encourage fans not to stay and have them leave. But they stood their ground. They stayed faithful. The word faithful was true to itself, and they got rewarded. We all got rewarded by seeing the greatest comeback in a very long time by a quarterback that, according to many idiots, nobody, not naming names, Eric or Nick Wright, called him a game manager.
Yeah.
Call him this or that.
Game.
He can't put the team on his back. He can't. 4 points against the Packers is nothing. I want to see him be behind double-digit points. Well, 17 points is double digits.
Yeah.
Okay, and he brought him back, and he put that team on his back with those unscripted runs. You're not going to sit there and tell me those runs were scripted. They were unscripted. He was going to get that beautiful throw to Juice, where he was Mr. Ballerina. Beautiful catch, by the way. That was beautiful. That throw that kind of scared me to Jawan Jennings over to the, when he threw to his right. And I'm like, but that looked like kind of like a Patrick Mahomes type of throw. Big time players make big time plays. This kid was unstoppable. I don't know about you guys, but the defense, you know what? Isn't this funny? The defense worries me more and going into the Super Bowl than the offense. In the 2019, I was more worried about the offense than I was the defense. But if we get the defense that we know we have, that played in the second half of the Lions game, this game's going to be interesting. What worries you, Brandon, more, the offense or the defense going into the Super Bowl?
Dude, that defense is starting to get suspect to me. That especially that front line, dude. The one part that we invested the most in this season, and they're getting freaking bullied. I mean, yes, Nick Bosa had 2 sacks in Sunday's game, but man, like where was our running defense at? Like we were getting demolished out there. So they need to clean that stuff up for sure because Isaiah Pacheco is no joke as well. Um, and just the defense needs to step up. The way they played in that second half is what I want to see all game come Super Bowl. It's plain and simple. Like we know what kind of defense we have. Go out there and show it. No more of this nonsense bullshit that we've been seeing the past 2 weeks. Okay.
I'm with you, bro. We can't start slow. Not against Patrick Mahomes. We start slow against Patrick Mahomes. Let's give it up. I mean, we cannot start slow against Patrick Mahomes. But this offense of the Chiefs, Pete, it's not the same offense they had in 2019. No. They had Hill, they had Watkins, they had I forgot who else they had.
The roles really are reversed.
Yes.
Like if you really think about it.
It
because
really is.
the 49ers had an all-world defense at the time. And then they had and then their offense was the one that was just kind of like we would do enough to win games. And now the roles have reversed. Pat is, as much as I love Pat Mahomes, I think Pat Mahomes is one of the greatest of all time.
Oh yeah.
Already. Like but as much as great as he is, they struggle to score points.
The most they ever scored 30 twice in the whole season, only twice.
Like they struggle to score points. They don't have a lot of weapons on the outside. They have Kelsey and they have Pacheco and Rashee Rice, and that's it. So it's gonna come down to like can the 49ers do what the Chiefs did last time we faced them in the Super Bowl, which is just be too much offense. Just too much offense for them to overcome. And can they score more points than the Chiefs do? And that's really what it comes down to. And don't succumb. And hopefully Andy Reid doesn't realize he's up 10 in the fourth quarter and just stops running the ball entirely. Because that's what happened to us in the Super Bowl last time. Is we were up 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and Shanny just forgot how to run the ball.
Yeah, hopefully that. And listen. To Shanny's point, credit, excuse me, in this NFC Championship, we fell behind, as we all know, and he did not abandon the run.
No, he did not.
Not abandon, and I love that about him.
I mean, that's what we said we needed.
Yeah,
that was what we've been begging for him to run the ball.
Yes,
like and magically we get 33 carries in that game, and voila,
yep,
offense over 30 points. Like it's amazing how that works. And people are going to say, "Oh, well, it wasn't just because they ran the game. The run game was just working." But that's not the case.
No.
He just ran the ball to set up everything else, and that's really what it's about. The play action was working because they were running the ball. They didn't have to play the drop back game. Brock only threw the ball 30 times. Those are the keys. 31 times, but regardless, 30 times.
No, I hear you.
And those were my keys to the game, was that they had to run the ball, and Brock needed to throw the ball 25 to 30 times a game. He did not need to be. If he was going to throw the ball 40 times a game again, it was not going to be good. So I was really happy to see all of everything that transpired. It looked like Shanny, like a light bulb went off finally.
Yeah, most definitely. I was nervous that because we fallen behind, are we going to start throwing the ball like crazy? When you have Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in the NFL, but Shanny had different plans. He used them. He continued to run, set up the play action, and we were able to move the ball. Plus, we got a couple of bounces. That strip fumble that was beautiful. I mean, it was a rookie mistake by the running back. I think a veteran A veteran back would have not done that because the exchange was kind of wrong. I think a veteran would have just fell to the ground and just lived to play another day. The fact that it was a rookie, Gibbs is a wonderful rookie. He's going to be a great running back, but he was a rookie. He made a rookie mistake, and we took advantage on it. Gibson stripped it, and Eric Armstead was there to recover. And although he was on that play, we had to run it in. I think we scored on that series, right? On that, so we were able to. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we tied it.
Yeah, we had short. Yeah, we had short field.
So everything. I mean, from being 24 to 7, was it in a span of what 6-7 minutes? The next you know, we're tied up.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy fast. And I want to say what's up to my guy Twin. Like what's
up, Twin?
He has been calling. He has been calling these games. He's been on my show the last 2 weeks, and like he has just been calling everything that he's saying. It just comes to pass. So like, I gotta say big up to my guy.
What's up, Twin Empire in the house? What's up, brother? Good to see you. There was a question, not that I'm going to divert from where we're speaking, but there was a question that was brought up earlier, and I would love for Pete to address this. He looks like he loves the linemen. So Roberto Davis brought up a question. He says, McKivitz is no better or worse than McClinchy. Do you see the Niners addressing the O-line in the draft or free agency? Trent can't play forever.
You want me to take this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I would hope so. I've been really begging them to draft an offensive tackle the last two drafts. The last two drafts in my mock drafts, I picked two offensive tackles in both of them. And it's but the 49ers seem to only do things when they absolutely need to, or they pull one out of their hat and they just make a crazy trade. So who knows? Who knows what could happen in that draft? I don't necessarily think that they're going to draft somebody high. In the first round, I mean, I think the last offensive lineman they drafted high was McGlinchey, and
9 overall in the first round.
I don't know, but I would hope so. I have a feeling it's going to be a defensive lineman, but just because it's the 49ers, but I would love for them to draft a tackle.
Yeah, I would too, and I think they will address that not only for the fact that McKivitz wasn't as good, but he was decent. I think they're going to try to find eventually the replacement for Trent Williams, and I think I wouldn't be surprised. I want to ask you, Brandon, if you will be surprised or not that they go with a tackle in the first pick in this year's draft. Do you think they'll go tackles? I know they're notorious for going defensive line. That will shock me more this time around. Do you think they go for an offensive lineman with their first round pick?
I want them to, but they're going D-line. I already know it. They do it every single year. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter how good our line is already. Yeah. They're going to pick a defensive line guy. So just be ready for that. Don't be shocked or surprised. I'd be surprised if they actually do pick a freaking right tackle or anybody in the offensive line. Yeah. That's like clearly the priority that they need to work on, but I doubt they're going to do it in the draft.
That's an interesting take because I as much as I'm with you, Brandon, they always go defensive linemen, but they have to realize that you're not going to pick up an offensive lineman in the free agent. And if you do, you're going to pay an arm and a leg, right? Yeah. And but let's just say there is one that comes up. You're going to pay money for that individual. You're looking at trying to bring in and keep Brandon Ayuk and some other guys. I don't think that's the smart way to go. Drafting offensive linemen. And I know you can pick in the 4th, 5th, and say, listen, when you get corners, linebackers, certain spots, I can see them going in the 5th, 6th, and 7th. When you're talking about offensive linemen, you better pick them in the first 3 rounds.
How much did they pay for Trent Williams? And I'm talking
Uh,
about for the draft compensation.
oh, just
What
a third and a fifth.
yeah. So don't think that that's not a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Like is that 49ers like in the NFL in general, there
But they
always
took a
seems to
chance on
be
Trent, bro. They took a chance
they
because
did.
he hasn't
They
played for a
did.
whole year and it paid off.
Yeah.
But if
Don't
you
think
bring
that
you bring a top lineman, bro, it's not going to be the same.
well, I mean, it wasn't so much of a gamble. Like he was already known. There was a bunch of teams that wanted to trade for him, and
Kansas City was one of them.
yeah. So it's not like it wasn't a bidding war. That was what they got what they could get for Trent Williams, and like, but don't think that they aren't going to be looking at some middle aged offensive linemen that might just be coming out of their prime and just trade a third or fifth for that guy. Like there's just a lot of options. I don't want us to pigeonhole ourselves into thinking that it can only be a draft. Like every single year during this time in the off season, things just happen that shock the hell out of everybody. So just don't be surprised. I think that they are going to get a lineman regardless, and a tackle regardless. It'll just be interesting to see how they do it.
Yeah. Real quick, I just want to address Ronnie Montoya. Don't quite understand your question because, you know, he's referring that doesn't look like himself in the playoffs. Do you think
played
it's
well.
due to the injury or just getting back into football? I don't know about you
He
guys,
played well.
but this guy is playing. I mean, he's dominating in these two playoff games.
Yeah.
He is
Kinlaw.
dominating. He's killing.
Kinlaw
Armstead
is
is like
he's
arguably the best defensive lineman other than Nick Bosa in that middle. He's stopping the run. He's putting pressure. He's not getting sacks, and that's a misleading thing with sacks. I love sacks. You want to finish a pressure with a sack. You want to get home. I understand all that. But you got to look at the all 22. You got to look at how disruptive is he? Is he taking on two defenders? Is he pushing the pocket back? Is he putting pressure on the quarterback to step outside instead of stepping in? Those are the things that Armstead has been doing consecutively since he came back. I don't think we win none of these games without him. This kid is special. I want to get your thoughts on this real quick. Start with Brandon and then real quick with Pete. Has Armstead, in your opinion, made a huge difference since he's been back in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, when he was out, I mean, you could tell that we missed him a lot. And once he came back in, he's been playing a lot better. Looks like his plantar fasciitis went away because it has been bugging him.
Or he's fighting through it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that too. But no, he's been looking good, man. I mean, like, yes, like they've been running, opponents have been running on us like crazy, but I mean, Armstead's still getting there and making plays. The only one that I would say that be concerning for me on the line right now is Chase Young, but Armstead's been looking fine.
Yep. Go ahead, Pete.
I mean, Chase Young looked actually pretty good like in this last game. He was kind of hit. It was kind of hit or miss, like, but he actually looked a lot better than
He
had
played
been.
really good in the second half.
Yeah, he looked a lot better than he had been looking. But Kinlaw has been a monster for the last two games. They said he's got the most tackles out of any. I saw a stat today. He has the most tackles of any defensive tackle in the playoffs, and like, and which is crazy because he's a platoon player. He's a rotation guy. But the thing about Armstead is that he's on a pitch count as well. And so he gets a chance to come in fresh legs. I think he's been what Armstead does. He's doing what Armstead does. He pushes the pocket. The quarterback isn't able to just step up in the pocket, and that's the important thing. But it's not helping in the run. The run fits because our linebackers. What I noticed in this last game was our linebackers just aren't filling the gaps. It's really weird. They're kind of trying to guess which gap they're going to go into instead of just filling their gaps. And it's so I don't know. I think Armstead is playing okay. I think that it really comes down to Fred and Greenlaw and that back end, like to help out with the run.
Mm-hmm.
And but yeah, I think Armstead's playing okay.
Yeah, I'm with you. Armstead is playing great football. Kinlaw has been killing it. The one that I was a little disappointed at, during the game, I was disappointed in Hargrave. I thought he was being handled by a backup guard, but I watched the all 22 last night, and that boy was being doubled the whole game.
The whole game.
Yeah, so this is why during the game and everything happening so fast, things can be misleading. You can look at a player like, oh my God, he's getting his ass kicked by a backup. So this guy was being double teamed.
They were giving him help.
Yes. So
Which is why Bosa got open
yes,
with 2 sacks.
yes. Oh, and
True.
on that, I don't know if it was his first or second sack. I love what I was going to say D'Amico, but I love what Steve Wilkes did, where he called the blitz with Greenlaw, and made number 58 pick who you're going to defend. Greenlaw that's coming straight at you, or Bosa that's coming around you, and that was a beautiful call because it allowed Bosa to come through and get Jared Goff on the ground. So that was a beautiful call. People out there that wanted Steve Wilkes again fired in the first half, listen, guys, you got to watch film. No disrespect. I'm not here to disrespect no one. You got to watch. Does he make some calls that question your, is he D'Amico Ryans? No. Did I like D'Amico Ryans a little bit better? Yes. But I don't see a lot of stunts in the front, but what he's been doing has been good football. He made his proper adjustments, and he came out and played good. Pete, I know you want to say something.
Heavily disagree. Heavily disagree. But anyway, go ahead.
Sure. No. Go ahead. Sure. I want to hear what
heavily
you have to say
disagree.
About him.
I feel like he puts us in bad spots. I feel like guys are left on islands to get tackles. And if they don't make the tackle, it looks like, okay, well, they just got a bunch of missed tackles. When in the past, we had our defensive coordinator, not just D'Amico, but Saleh was big on this as well, is just go. He wanted those guys playing like their hair was on fire and just go after the guy. Everybody, gang tackling. And that's really what it was about. I feel like Steve Wilkes has these guys thinking too much. And that's there. It's all about his scheming and not just playing football. It's the coverage. The coverages just don't make sense to me. And when it's really his he doesn't disguise anything.
Thanks, Norse.
He doesn't disguise anything. And teams they talked about it in their own press conference. A couple of different teams said that well, we kind of watched tape, we kind of knew what their tendencies were, and we went straight off of that. Steve Wilkes is not trying to disguise anything. He's going to do what he's going to do, and when you don't hide it, teams are going to, this is the NFL. They're going to take advantage. He doesn't
disguise things often, but I want to correct you on that fourth and when they went for it, the second time they went for it, where they flustered Goff and he had to run to the side and he threw short the pass. It was because Steve Wilkes disguised that defense. They were showing man pre-snap, and then they changed it. They changed it up to zone.
What was the score? What was the score at that point?
I can't remember. What was it?
We'd already given up points. That is my point.
But he made adjustments.
I get it. Making adjustments is a different thing than just playing good defense to begin with. This team was number one against the run for the last 2 seasons. Now all of a sudden you're in the building and nothing changed. You get Hargrave, you add Hargrave, you add Chase Young. I could see maybe they don't get it as well as everybody else. But at the same time, the base of your defense is the same. You cannot have that many good players on a team, and the only common denominator is that you're calling the plays. Like, and all of a sudden now we're not a good run defense. If it
Mhm.
was one or two players that just weren't making plays, I could see it. But it's the whole defense. They weren't as aggressive. And even if you want to say it's one or two players, that falls on you as well. Because you are the coach. You're the one that gets these guys schemes these guys up, gets these guys going and ready to play.
But he can't tackle for them.
Okay. Well, how many great players do you have to have on? How come can you explain to me how you could have this many good players on a defense and it changed so drastically, and the only common denominator is that you're calling the plays and you're coaching?
I don't know. I think it's just easy to blame a coach when things don't go right. And things go right, everything the
One
coach
calling
is
the
great.
plays, though, man.
But you still have to execute. I'm with Twin Empire here. Players got to make plays too. They got to
Absolutely.
execute. They got to
Absolutely.
execute.
Of course.
But they used to gang tackle, and I mean, you could even see it on D'Amico's card. It was called, the whole scheme was called Swarm, because it was all about gang tackling. Okay, well, we don't do that anymore.
Because
He leaves guys,
Steve Wilkes is not
guys on
D'Amico.
islands.
Yeah, but he's not
leaves
D'Amico. He
guys
has his
on
own style.
islands. Okay, so then that's what's going to happen when you have your own style. When he has his style, you're going to leave guys on islands. They're going to miss tackles from time to time, and there's not going to be anybody else around to tackle, because that's what's happening. That's why we're so bad.
What was the most points the Niners gave up all year?
It's not about the points. It's not about the points.
What do you mean it's not about the points?
It's not about the
You
points.
can move up and down all you want on the field, but if you don't score, that's what matters.
We're getting the games that we lost. We were getting killed in time of possession. Why? Because we were playing bend but don't break. Okay, well, that's great, but they're taking up all the time. And then your offense doesn't have a chance to get on the field and score, because now if they don't score every time they go out, then now it's a problem, and then we're blaming the offense. So it's in my opinion, Wilkes, I'm just not a fan.
You go next, Brandon.
I'm just not a fan. Everybody has their opinion on it.
No.
And it's fine.
Hey, and I respect your opinion, really do, Pete. And I'm glad you bring it up.
I do yours as well.
Because
Beto,
we're not always going to agree with it. Listen, nobody wants to watch a show where all three of us agree on everything. Let's be honest. Ain't nobody going to want to watch a show that we're all going to agree on everything. It's always good to have healthy debates about what we think of what we see. Doesn't mean that I'm right. Doesn't mean you're right. It just means that you have your perspective on what you see. I have mine. And it's beautiful to bring it in respectfully into the show and speak what we believe in, and then, and have healthy debates. So I will always welcome that from you, Pete, because this is one of the reasons why you and Brandon are my co-hosts here, because I love that you have your own mind. You're not going to sit there and always agree with me or this or anybody. You're going to sit there. If you agree with me because I'm saying something you agree, you'll say you agree. If I'm saying something, you're like, like you said, I completely disagree on that. Hey, that's okay, because you're bringing your flavor, because I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of viewers that are watching this that agree with you. And they're not going to agree with me, and others are going to agree with me. And that's the healthy part. Brandon, I'm sorry, bro. Go ahead and say what you have to say.
No, I was just going to say, I feel like Wilkes just, he likes to bring four and go and prevent defense a lot. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen a lot of that on Sunday's game, and it wasn't working. So then once he did make the adjustments, I mean, you saw the difference. But, I agree with Pete. I'm not impressed with Wilkes' play calling, especially during the playoffs. It has me worried some for sure, and I just, especially with going to Super Bowl against the Chiefs, I hope he calls a better game, man, because Patrick Mahomes is no joke.
He isn't, and whenever you have Patrick Mahomes, I'm glad you brought him up. There's always a concern. There's always an element of, oh shit, you can lose this game because of Mahomes. But he doesn't have the same offense, like Pete mentioned earlier, that they haven't been putting a lot of points. They only put 30 points twice. Now, he's still Patrick Mahomes. He can still make something out of nothing. And if you put your ears down and you're not paying attention, he'll make you pay for it. But if you can contain him, in 2019, they were able to come back because they had speed on their offense. They had Tyreek Hill that blew that was a 50-yard or whatever it was, that they were able to turn the momentum around. They don't have that, and on this offense, they don't. If they fall behind by 2 scores to the Niners, them coming back is not going to be as easy as, in my opinion, than it was in 2019. They're going to struggle a little bit. Now their defense got better, and our defense got a little bit more suspect, but our offense got better. If it's a shootout between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Niners, they don't want a shootout. I can guarantee you that Patrick Mahomes does not want a shootout against the Niners. We come in with a different quarterback, a quarterback that can do way more unscripted plays that we saw that Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't do. So I think that the Chiefs want to jump on top of us and play defense. That's what they want to do. They want to score and play defense on us. But if we take a 2-score on them, I don't see them coming back. I'll start with you, Brandon, because me and Pete have been talking for a minute. You let us know if we start 14 points ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs, do you think they will struggle coming back because of the lack of the weapons? I mean, they only have the rookie, a receiver, Rice, number 4, and then Kelsey. Now, Kelsey went for 11 for 11 against the Ravens, so he's definitely somebody we're going to have to stop. But would you be more concerned, or not? What's the word I'm looking for? Would you be worried that they can come back like they did in 2019 because of Patrick Mahomes?
As long as Kyle doesn't make the same mistake he did in 2019, and that is letting off the gas, then no, I don't think so. But once again, it's Patrick Mahomes. He can do fucking anything. Plus, the Chiefs' defense looks pretty good, man. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I give them props for how they've been playing too, as well. So that's my take on that. But we just gotta go all gas, dude. No brakes.
Yeah, go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, it's not just the Chiefs defense, the players, because and I see you down there, Twin. I'm not gonna we go like you can come on my show anytime. We we can do this all day. But the
That's an invitation,
the thing
there,
about
Twin.
oh, he knows he's got an open invitation anytime he wants to come on.
Yeah.
But the thing about it's not just okay.
No, not to you, bro. I was you keep talking, brother. I was referring to
I didn't see the comment until but
no, I'm not flushing you, bro. Never.
So the
Pete was about to beat me up through the camera.
No, I was like, and then I looked at the screen and I was like, okay, like I got it.
Love you, Pete. Pete's like, don't piss me off, bro.
So I'm looking at the Chiefs defense. It's not just the defense. Like we were talking about Wilkes and his scheming and the play calling. Guess who's one of the best defensive play callers in league history in the playoffs? It's his name's Steve Spagnuolo, and he's the defensive coordinator for the Chiefs. And he's known for his play calling in the playoffs and stopping great offenses. That's what he does. Even when he has lesser than players. So that's why I say players are great. Like it's great to have great players, but you still have to put your players in a position to win. It's all about the reason why those players are great and that they got those stats is because they were put in a position to win. It's not always just their ability. Like a guy that is a good 3 technique is not going to succeed if you put him in as just a run stuffing 3-4 lineman. It's not going to happen because he's not in the right position to succeed. Even if he was all world before he got there. That's not going to happen. So it's all about putting your guys in a position to succeed, and Spagnuolo does it better than anyone, and especially in the playoffs and in pressure situations. So that's really who I think that Kyle. It's really Kyle versus Spagnuolo. I think that's the key matchup in this game.
Yeah, he definitely got into Lamar head a bit.
He got into Kyle's head the last time they played.
He's good at that. He's
the
good
last
at that.
couple of times they played. So it's you gotta that is going to be a key matchup that we're going to talk about all for the next 2 weeks.
Absolutely. Brian, you want to add anything, brother?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, I have a question for you guys.
Yeah, go for it.
What do you call it? What's the key thing that the Niners have to do to keep Mahomes contain, mostly in the pocket? I feel like, and put pressure. You know what I mean? What do they have to do to contain Mahomes?
What do they have to do? They have to get. Honestly, I think that they need to take a page out of the Ravens, or not the Ravens, but the Chiefs book.
I hope they don't
from
take the
last
page
week.
out of the Ravens.
No, they have to take a page out of the Chiefs book last week. How they played. Did you see how their defensive line kind of played Lamar and tried to keep him in the pocket?
Yep.
Like I
They
think that's
told
gonna
him,
be the key.
if you're going to beat us, Lamar, you're going to beat us with your arm, not with your legs.
Exactly. And we saw how that worked out. And not that Mahomes can't beat us with his arm, but I think it's keeping him in the pocket and kind of just slowly squeezing the pocket closer. I think that's the real way, because I don't think blitzing is the answer. He is like a monster against the blitz. And that's how I feel. I don't know if you can really stop Mahomes. You can, but you're going to have to
just try to have to contain him, not stop him.
Exactly. And double team Kelsey. Take away Kelsey. Figure out a way to take away Kelsey.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to double team Kelsey or triple team, something.
Yeah,
not that we really do that in our defense.
No. You know what? You know what? Personally, you don't even have to triple. You just got to hit him. Hit him. Let him know you might get some catches, but you're going to get hit. You're not going to get open looks. You're not going to get a first down, not getting touched. You're going to get hit. You come down the middle. Fred Warner or Greenlaw, we're going to be here all day, Kelsey. We're going to be here all day. You catch the ball, we're going to make you pay. It'll start getting into Kelsey's head. Trust me. You keep getting hit like that. I think stopping Mahomes, it's not something that the Niners will be successful, but I think they can contain him. I think they need to play man and mix it up with zone. I mean, play zone, mix it up with man. Blitz, but don't over blitz. Pick your times to blitz, and you gotta hit home with the blitz. You can't just blitz and allow him to escape, because that's when he will kill you. So you gotta make sure you anticipate those blitz. Don't blitz too much, but keep him. Make him run.
Honestly, I don't even think that that Mahomes is really the what they should be focusing on. They should just be focusing on stopping Pacheco and stopping the run. Like, if they can just stop the run, this is not the same Chiefs team on offense that we faced in 2019. I'm making Mahomes make throws outside the numbers, but I'm clogging up the middle of the field, and I'm making them making them move away from the run, because that's what they're going to do. They're going to come out and run the ball. Because the 49ers have to prove they can stop it. If they don't stop it, the Andy Reid is just going to keep doing it to death.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Guys, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. All our channels are in the description below. Make sure to follow my boy Pete on his channel. He does great things there. Make sure to follow Brandon. He does the same thing. Their channels are growing. They're great content creators supporting the San Francisco 49ers. All their information, all their platforms are in the description below. Make sure when the show's over, take a moment and click on those and make sure to support them. But yeah, I think, listen, personally, I like the matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs, because if Brock Purdy beats, and I say if, not that I'm not confident, but I'm also a realist. I'm not going to sit there and tell the future. If I could, I would have won the lotto already. But if Brock Purdy beats Mahomes, his life, besides the Super Bowl, His life is going to be changed forever because at that point, I don't think they should do it now, but at that point, they will never call him a game manager again. And if they do, they're just idiotic people that don't know what they're talking about because you beat, not only do you win the Super Bowl, but you beat Patrick Mahomes. There's only 2 quarterbacks that's ever beaten Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady and Joe Burrow. That's it.
Yeah.
If you become the 3rd quarterback to beat Mahomes, and then you do it in the Super Bowl, I'll be the first one to watch First Things First to see Nick Wright's stupid big nose, a big ass nose on the air, try to get out of this one.
Hilarious.
How are you going to get out of this one, my friend? How are you going to sit the Mahomes, especially if Brock outplays Mahomes? And you might say, well, I don't think that could happen. Believe it or not, that could happen. If our defense comes to play and the defense tightens up the way we know they can play and they play and don't give up foolish yards, there's no reason why Brock Purdy can outplay because he plays well under pressure. They're going to be pressure, but they lost Charlie Omenihu, one of their besides Jones, he is one of their good pass rushers. So their defense is good, but our offense is better, in my opinion. And I think because we've been putting up 30 points how many times? They only put up 30 points twice, and they've been keeping it in the 20s. For the most part. I mean, against the Ravens, they only put up 17 points. The reason why the Ravens lost, in my personal, is they turned the ball over 3 times. You know how many times the Chiefs turned it over? 0. Yeah. You're not going to win when you turn it over 3 times. And yet they held them to 10 points. And the Ravens defense only held Patrick Mahomes to 17. It's not like it's the Patrick Mahomes that are scoring 30, 40 points in a game. I'm not worried about their offense. I'm more concerned about our defense, if you ask me.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, what's their passing defense ranked right now?
What's up, David McNiner?
Welcome. They have 2 really good corners. I know that.
Yeah. McDuffie is a good. He's an All-Pro.
And L'Jarius Sneed is nice.
Yes. Their linebacking corner,
and they're physical.
And they're physical. Yes. This is where this is where the MVP, in my opinion, and we're going to talk about that, and it can change throughout the weeks when we have more shows. But I think if we're going to need Debo to really, really step up in this game, I think he's going to be the X factor. I know a lot of people say Christian McCaffrey, but I think listen, Debo was a rookie in that first Super Bowl. Fred Warner was his second year. It was Kittle's 3rd year. It was Greenlaw's rookie. Bosa, rookie. All these guys, they were like kids at a candy store. They went to the Super Bowl as rookies, so they're sitting there like, oh my God, look at all these stars, look at all these toys, and kind of got caught up in the moment. These guys are not going back to this Super Bowl caught up in the moment. They know what they got to do to get a dub. They're not going into the Super Bowl with all the lights and the flashes and, oh, look at I arrived. Look at us. We're here for the first time. These are veterans, seasoned veterans now. Especially they lost that first Super Bowl. They know the taste of losing a Super Bowl, and they did not like that taste. Patrick Mahomes is going to have to play an A++ game to try to beat us. I am very confident in our team.
Yeah, and can we just say something about Purdy? Like, I don't know if anybody watched QB School this week.
No, not yet.
But he broke down the Purdy performance, and it was better than I think a lot of people would give him credit for. Not only that, Purdy did what it took to win, and I think that's what I'm most impressed by him. There was no quarterback that really did otherworldly anything. As far as statistics go. So it's really in the playoffs, it's about who can make the most plays that can get the win. And Purdy has shown over and over again that that's what he's about. He's gonna make plays, and he's gonna make reads, and he is going to trust in the offense. He's going to run this offense to the utmost, and it's just I'm really confident going into this game that Purdy is going to make the right decisions. The only person that throws a wrench in all of this is Spagnuolo. That guy finds way. That guy. So Brady's the GOAT, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Spagnuolo has confused Brady multiple times, and like it's just rough. It's gonna be a lot of anxiety, but I think Purdy is this guy, and this is the thing. If he gets through this game, he wins. He wins. It's not about the criticism. Who cares about the criticism if they win? Like it's how does this make him grow going forward? Let's say he wins the Super Bowl. Next season, he's had all this playoff experience and he's won a Super Bowl now. We're set up for this foreseeable future. Like that's our not that he's not already our quarterback, but he's real. I mean, he's cemented at that point. And we don't ever have to hear about quarterback controversies, Trey Lance, Jimmy G, whatever. We don't have to listen to that anymore. Like it's going to be all about Purdy at that point and what this team is going to put around Purdy to make this work and keep it rolling.
Yep. Real quick question. Did the Detroit Lions lose any of their running backs to injury in the game that they just played, or did they both finish?
No, they both finished.
All right. So we gave up over 148 yards, if not mistaken, in the first quarter or in the first
half. They only
half.
had 8 carries in the second half.
8 carries and for only 34 runs. And they're like, I heard a lot of Lions fans complaining, wow, they should have run the ball. They couldn't run on us in the second half.
Welcome to the club. Like of us complaining about running.
Yeah, they couldn't run against us in the second half. The Niners were dominating. They put their foot down. They woke their ass up, and they played great football. We need to watch the third and fourth quarter of that game with that defense, and they need to start like that quarter number 1 against the Chiefs. If they do that, this offense will put up points on their defense. As good as their defense is, this offense will put up points against that defense. It's, to me, is the key. Can we stop? Can we stop their offense on our defense? We can't give up the bubble screens. We can't give up these certain things. We got to make sure we tackle. If we tackle and stop the run, this game will be in our favor. I'm not tripping on that. I just want to acknowledge real quick our girl Red Jet Shouts. How you doing, girl?
Appreciate
Welcome. We got a couple of questions in here that we're going to address, and then we'll move on. We've been on here for about an hour. It's exciting to always talk Super Bowl. Let it sink in, ladies and gentlemen, that we're in the Super Bowl. Now, I want to address something real quick. And I think me and Pete are kind of in the same boat when it comes to this. I don't think Brandon as much, and because he's young and he wants a Super Bowl win. The whole Super Bowl or bust scenario.
Yeah.
Listen, unless you're Patrick Mahomes, you've been to 4 Super Bowls in 5 years. Okay, that's crazy. But besides him, under Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, the San Francisco 49ers in 5 years have been to 4 NFC championship games and 2 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Let that sink in. Do we want to win the Super Bowl this time around? Of course. Do we want to hoist the Lombardi trophy? Of course. If we don't win, are there going to be a lot of devastated, disappointed fans? Yes. But you can't. I beseech you not to take away what a great season we had. I don't know about you guys. I enjoyed watching every game of this season. I've been walking with my head up. Yes, we have won games. I've been, wearing my gear everywhere I go. What's the Niner? My flags on my car, the flag on my hood, everything. Why? Because the Niners have been consistent. Do we want to win the Super Bowl? Absolutely. Absolutely. Ain't nobody going to be more devastated than the Niner players and the coaches. Okay? More than the fans, believe it or not. But they're going to give it their all. But getting the number one seed, Pete, getting the number one seed, Brandon, winning your division, making it to the Super Bowl with your second-year quarterback, first-time starter, you can't sit there and tell me, you can, but I'm not going to listen, that they have not been successful in what they have done. And we have great coach, and we have a great GM, and they've been kicking ass since they've been here in the draft, free agencies, and winning. We just haven't won it, and it's who has the most Super Bowls? Let me ask that question. I'll ask Brandon because it's easy. How many Super Bowls are the most? How many Super Bowls have been won the most? Don't mention
Patriots,
the teams. No,
6.
just a number.
6.
Okay, so there's no team out there that has more than 6 Super Bowls, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many? This is what, Super Bowl 58? Let that sink in. In 58 Super Bowls, there's only 2 teams that has won 6. No more than 6. It's not easy to win or go to the Super Bowl and win it. It is hard. It doesn't mean you suck. It doesn't mean that you don't try. Ball has to bounce your way. Sometimes you can just be right there. The Buffalo Bills lost the damn Super Bowl because the kicker missed a field goal against the Giants. Shit, the whole game was good for the Buffalo except that freaking kick. It is hard. Only 2 teams have 6. Your Niners are 2 teams that have 5 with the Cowboys. And then the 2 teams with 4 is the Packers and Giants. And then you start dropping down to 3 and 2s and 1s. The most Super Bowls won has been 6. Brady has more Super Bowls than a team does. That's how hard it is to win Super Bowls. So all I'm saying is if we win a Super Bowl, great. I'll be right there with you. We're going to the parade. We're Super Bowl champs. But I don't know. The whole fire Kyle, if we don't win a Super Bowl, is a
Who
bunch
is
of
saying
BS.
fire Kyle at this point?
Who
Says
that?
who is
Brandon
saying
knows
that
who.
at this point?
Brandon knows who.
For real.
I plead the fifth.
There's no
I love him though, but
there is no team that would not trade places with you as a fan. If you want to go root for that team, then go for it. There's no team that is not gonna trade places with you. Maybe the Chiefs fans right now.
Yeah.
But other than them, who else? Nobody would trade where we are as a team and as a culture and as an organization right now than where the 49ers at 4 out of the last 5 NFC championships game, national NFC championship games, and then you're going to your second Super Bowl. Come on. Kyle's not going anywhere. Get used to it. If you're complaining about it still, then you might as well just start looking for another team.
Yeah.
Because he's not going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm talking about, we're going to look up 5 years. The only way that he's going anywhere is if he just decides to retire
or passes away.
And
God forbid.
that's literally the only way. And we're talking, he would have to suck for the next 4 or 5 years for them to get to that point to where they want to get rid of Kyle. He's not going anywhere. And I don't want him to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I love the culture of this team. I love, just like Beto said, I love watching this team play football. And do we win every time? No. That's football.
Yeah.
That's sports.
You don't get to win all of them.
You don't get to just tell them, oh, you got to do this or else. That's not the way that sports goes. You love it when it happens.
You know what's funny, and I want you to add into that, Brandon. Niner fans We are truly spoiled that we have a great organization.
Truly.
You know why?
Really?
The Lions. The last time the Lions been to an NFC Championship was 1991, over 30 years. Okay.
I feel you, twin.
The Cowboys have not even smelled anything near an NFC Championship game.
And they will never.
It's not easy to get to the NFC Championship game. It's not. We've been there 3 years straight in a row. 3 years. Yes, it sucked that we lost to the Rams. It sucked that we lost our quarterback and we lost to the Eagles. But we were there. We got to watch an extra game that other teams could not. Now we came through, we punched through, and we made it to the Super Bowl. Whatever happens, we're going to enjoy a whole week of media, Super Bowl media, talk about our Niners. Some are going to be negative, a lot of them are going to be positives. But we're going to hear interviews from our players on the podium. Why? Because they are there. We're going to watch the big airplane with the Niner flag in the window, landing in Las Vegas. Take all that in. Take it all in and be proud of your team. Take it in that we are in the Super Bowl. Now, if we win it, hey, man, then we can just, if you drink, get drunk, whatever you do. But don't feel like a failure because we didn't win it. We're so spoiled. We've been, you know what? It's so easy for us to get to an NFC Championship game, guys, that it's not enough anymore. Oh, it's just, I don't care about NFC Championships anymore. All I want is a Super Bowl. You know how many fans out there, and if you say you don't care about the fans, well, then you're not really love sports. It's more about you and me, emotional
It's about
shit.
the team. It's about the team. And like when I was growing up, it didn't matter. Like win, lose, whatever, indifferent. Like that's my squad.
Yeah.
And you roll with them. It's really about your it's really about you and how you feel about your loyalty.
Yeah.
Sports is all about loyalty, and it's all about. And I mean, there's some people that don't take it as seriously as us, and I get it. I get it. Like that's fine. You fan the way that you want to fan. At the same time, like I said, Kyle ain't going nowhere. So you can complain.
Why would you want him to go? Who are you going to replace him with?
But that's what I'm saying. Everybody can fan the way that they want to fan. You want to complain? That's fine. No problem. You're going to be complaining against that wall over there because he's not going nowhere. So you can get mad about it, but unless you're going to go somewhere, unless you're leaving and going to be a fan of another team, just know that you're going to be frustrated.
Question real quick. Name me top 5 coaches right now in the league. Top 5.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to put Andy Reid up there. And
obviously.
Then,
I would put Tomlinson up there.
Mike Tomlin?
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
Oh, my God, bro. You are trippy.
He hasn't had a losing season yet.
He hasn't.
So what?
Oh.
So what?
You're just contradicting yourself.
No, I mean, I didn't. Like what I said is that if you're looking at
they haven't had a lot of losing season.
When was the last time Tomlin was in an AFC Championship game?
When was the time he had a quarterback since Roethlisberger left? And he still
even when he had Roethlisberger. He had Roethlisberger,
and he
still
won a Super Bowl,
an AFC Championship,
and he won a Super Bowl.
Okay, he won. He's got one. That doesn't mean he's top 5. Is he top 5 because he got one?
Okay, go ahead. Name me your top 5. I will interrupt. Sorry.
Top 5?
Name your top, and I will ask Brandon. Think about yours, Brandon.
Today.
And everybody in the chat, do the same if you like.
Like today, I would say, let's see. Let's go like Chiefs. Let me look at let me make sure that I'm not forgetting anybody. So I would say the Andy Reid, number 1.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say, ooh, this is gonna piss off a lot of people.
That's all right, bro. This is your top 5.
I'm gonna have to put McVay in there.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna say John Harbaugh.
I was gonna say.
And then I'm gonna say Kyle.
Okay.
And let's see who else we got. Well, he just got fired, so that's not that's not a good one. I mean, the Belichick would have been up there, but I mean, he would be going off of just past experience too, as well. I would say the Green Bay coach. I'd put him in the
Oh,
top
LaFleur?
5. Yeah, I
Matt
would put LaFleur
LaFleur.
in there.
Okay.
I put LaFleur in there, and I mean, I guess I'm looking at the rest. I'm. It's really a kind of a toss up who you put in at number 5, because I think that there's a lot of good coach. I mean, you might have to put Mike McDaniel as number 5.
Okay.
Like, I mean, what he did to turn around that Miami squad when they were nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, you could go Cincinnati coach too, if you really wanted to. I know they didn't make the playoffs, but I mean, he made it to a Super Bowl, and he kind of turned around that organization as well. But I would go with Mike McDaniel probably,
Mike McDaniel.
like for my top 5.
Okay, real quick, let me bring in the super chat, and then we'll give it to Brandon so Brandon can do. I want to hear his top 5. But we got a super. Go ahead, Pete, and then Brandon, give me your 5 after.
So what I noticed by looking at that list is there's really not that many great coaches in the league right now. There's really not, and like, and it could swing either way on any given season. But I see the 5 I gave are the people that I see that I feel like could consistently be good, and like and I know that the last one I made didn't make the playoffs, but like I still feel like they've got that team moving in the right direction. They just had some unfortunate mishaps, but yeah, but yeah. Can I say why I don't think Tomlin is there real quick?
Yeah.
Like I just this is the thing. I don't give kudos to people just for being mediocre. Like I just don't. And I get it like that he hasn't had a losing season, that he makes the playoffs with Mason Rudolph, I get it. But some of that, the reason why they have players on his team. It's not like they don't. Like he has struggled to find an offense that works. He's struggled to find a quarterback for his team. He's struggled to keep his team healthy, just like Kyle used to get blamed for in the past. He has struggled in those aspects. And like, if you're okay with just barely making the playoffs and then getting blown out, hey, like, go for it. Like, I just don't think that the Steelers are going to be going anywhere anytime soon. Anytime soon. Like, it's not even going to be a question. If they do make the playoffs, they're going to get blown out, just like every season.
Yeah, I'm with I hear you. He's one of my top, at least top 10 coaches out there.
Top 10, yes, absolutely.
He's an amazing coach, a never losing season, and he motivates his players. Players love him, play for him. And real quick, before I answer Twins Empire's question, Brandon, who are your top 5 quarterbacks, buddy?
I'm gonna go with Andy Reid, Shanny, Matt LaFleur.
It gets rough.
I'll say Like, are we just talking about like as of like right now?
Yeah, not all time.
Okay. I'll say McVay as well. Um,
McVay's a good pick. I know it's not popular because he's a Rams coach, but he's one hell of a coach.
Yeah, hell of a coach.
and I'm gonna say I know he's only had 1 year in, but I'm gonna say D'Amico.
Ooh, I wanted to say him,
You know,
but
I hear where you're
yeah,
coming from, Brandon. I do, and I love D'Amico, but I need to see more consistency
yeah,
than just
that's
1 year.
Yeah,
that was
Is
the
it
only
a
reason why I
fluke?
didn't say him.
he
Was
definitely
it just a
turned
good
that
year, or is he
the
consistent? These other
organization
coaches have
around.
been consistent.
Yeah, D'Amico is a leader in men. Like,
Yes.
let's just be clear on that. Like,
And
I
he's not
think
dropping
that,
his shorts like Mike Singletary.
yeah, yes, he is all the good things of Mike Singletary without all the pant dropping.
Sean Payton has kind of fallen off of the grid for me, honestly. I think Sean Payton was more of a. I think Drew Brees carried him, if anything, than
You
him
got to
being
give
a
him
great coach.
credit for what he did. Like he did pull that team out of the depths this season. Like I will say that team
Yeah, but
looked
he was the
like
same
a
guy that gave up
complete.
70 points too
I get it. But at the same
to
time,
Miami.
that team was in dire straits. It had no direction.
No, that's true.
It had no direction, and he came in. He put what's it called, Russ in his place. And I get it that people feel bad about the way that he treated Russ, and he probably could have handled that better. I'm not saying he's a nice guy. What I'm saying is that he did come in there and he got what? How many wins did they have? They almost made the playoffs.
Yeah. And those came late, by the
Yeah,
way.
they went on a streak.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you got to give the man Sean Payton his credit. He is. I think he is a really good coach. I just think that he's not the best human being on the planet. But I mean,
Yeah, there's only one coach that I will replace Shanahan with immediately is Andy Reid. He's the
Yeah.
only one that I will replace Shanahan with. I like Shanahan. Does he make some moron plays? Is he conservative when he shouldn't be? Does he not go for it as much as Dan Campbell does? He's not as aggressive, blah, blah, blah. If you really want to nitpick, you're going to always find something no matter who it is. But look at the body of work. See, people look at what's happening today. Look at the body of work of what Shannon has done. Not only that, but he has changed since 2017. He has made adjustments. He made improvements. He's not the same coach that he was in 2017. He's a better coach than he was then. Just like Jed York is a better owner than he was when he first took over.
oh, much.
He's not in he's not in the cameras no more. He hired, let him coach. Everybody learns from their mistakes. It's show me a body of work. If you can show me that you have changed and gotten better from day one to where you're at today, I'm encouraged by that. I've seen a lot of great things. Again, 4 NFC championship games and 2 Super Bowls now under Kyle. But yet people want Kyle fired because they don't get what they want. They want a Super Bowl or they want this or Kyle doesn't do it. And it's funny, I do it sometimes too, so I'm in the boat, but a lot of us content creators, for the most part, know better than Kyle. But we're sitting on the camera on YouTube, and Kyle's getting paid millions to coach. Yeah. At the end of the day, Kyle knows better. Now, it doesn't mean that we have to agree with everything Kyle does. No, I certainly don't. And it's nothing wrong with criticize Kyle. One thing is about criticizing for what he does wrong, fine. But asking to fire him, that's just in your feelings. When you ask to fire him, criticize him. He does this wrong. He needs to change this. He needs to stop being so damn conservative. Look at the game against the Lions. That last touchdown they gave up.
Yep.
He played conservative and be, well, it's Steve Wilkes. Steve Wilkes listens to Kyle. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, Kyle tells Steve Wilkes, put your foot down and don't let him score. Steve Wilkes is going to try not to play preview defense. I hate that, by the way.
You
I
could
hate
tell
that.
a couple of times in that game that the camera was on Kyle and he was in that microphone, and you knew he was talking to Steve Wilkes.
Yep, he wasn't
Like
talking to his
there was a
mother. That's for
couple of
sure.
times.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, he was
so,
pissed,
but
especially
real
when
quick,
we were getting gashed.
real quick question before we get out of here because I got to get going.
Yeah,
Like
it's been over an hour. Sorry.
the McVay or Shanny.
Shanny.
I would take Shanahan.
And I
think-
mean, I know
think
we're going to
McVay's
speak
a better player coach.
sentimentally. Like I know sentimentally, we're going to always say Shanny. Like, but do you like? What do you think of the culture that the 49ers have as opposed to the culture that the Rams have? Because the Rams, say what you want, they came in. They weren't supposed to win 3 games this season.
No, he can coach. He can coach. If you can put the coaching play calls, the way he writes down play calls, Shanny, into McVay's head and combine them two, holy crap, you might get a Bill Walsh out of it. Let me tell you, McVay. I know he's MS's coach of the Rams, but if you love football, you will respect when respect is due. And McVay has, like Pete said, he brought this team out of the ashes.
Yeah.
Out of the ashes. I mean, this team was not supposed to win no more than 5, and they went all the way to the playoffs, and they gave the Lions a good fight. You know what I mean? Yes, they have Stafford, but he had a bunch of rookies. One thing I like about McVay,
they had the most rookies starting at any team.
He trusts his rookies way more than Shanny does.
Yeah,
And
that's my
and
thing.
if rookie makes a mistake for McVay, he will still allow you to make another mistake. Shanahan, you make one mistake, especially if it's crucial, you're done. And that's one thing I don't like about McVay. Shanahan. That's one thing I like to. But if I had to choose one over the other, man, that's a hard one because, hey, love it or not, McVay won a Super Bowl already.
Yeah,
Shanahan hasn't.
True.
So there's no denying
that's
it.
why it's a rough question. It's a rough question, but I love Shanny. I love Shanny, and for better or for worse. And I feel like it's going to be so satisfying when he gets this ring.
Yeah.
He's going to get it. And I just feel like it's going to be so satisfying because all of that talk at that point becomes moot. Like it becomes moot. No longer can people say, "Oh, well, he's better because McVay is better because he won one already." That now they'd be in the exact same spot. They'd both been to 2 Super Bowls, and each one of them got one. So, yeah, I just think I love
Shannon's
Shanny.
behind the 8 ball. You're right. This is Shannon's second Super Bowl. If he wins it, you were making reference if we win it, then yes.
If we win it, and I want Shanny to win it so bad because I just appreciate the everything that he brings to the table and the culture him and
John Lynch
have built. Like I just think that people take that for granted so much, and that the culture of this team,
heck yeah, they do,
is just so ill. It is so ill, like to have a team where the players. I mean, think about this for a second, and I'm going to make this quick. Think about this for a second. Active players from other teams were coming to have to get into the pregame warm up with our current players because they had to come back because they love
Solomon
this
Thomas
team so much.
You had who else?
Aziz.
Aziz. Yeah, Aziz. It's just
They came back and just a support.
Yep.
That speaks to the culture that this team has put together.
No backbiting. Nobody's above someone
and
else.
It's all business.
Yep.
The you know what McGlinchey you said that what he loved about the process was that they were fully transparent with him. They told him we're probably not going to be able to keep you.
Yeah. You may not like him, but you know he's going to shoot it straight.
And Sherman said the same thing. He said he appreciated the way they just came to him and said and told it exactly the way it was.
Yep. They did
And
not run around the bush. They said it.
That's really what it's about. I think that a majority of teams and businesses and corporations and all these would just do that. Just be honest about it and what it is. We would have a lot people would have a lot better cultures in their buildings.
Yep. Brandon, anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, just make sure you hit that like, subscribe button on all platforms. We're all live on each of our channels.
Platforms. The links are in the bottom. If you don't have their Twitter or their Instagram, whatever you may not have of them, look in the comments below and you'll see it there. Click on it. Go support them. They do great work. Gentlemen, it's been fun. We'll be here next Tuesday, God willing, at 6:30 to talk more football. Everyone in the chat, you guys been amazing. You guys are the MVP of tonight. Appreciate each and every one of them with your amazing comments, keeping the chat engaged.
It's when we go fight later.
Yeah, let's go get number 6. Let's handle our business. Regardless of what happens, though, we are in the Super Bowl. We're going to have fun. Take it all in. Enjoy it. Don't stress out about who we're playing, this or that. Can we win? Enjoy it every day and take it one day at a time. If we get the victory at the end, we're going to enjoy it that much more. But don't ruin it today, what's going to happen in about 2 weeks. Enjoy it. All right, guys, we are out of here. God bless. Take care. Go Niners. And Brock Purdy.
Go Niners.
Thank you for managing the hell out of this team. Peace.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,